This is problem number 2 on practice test number 6, and we're working here with the binomial distribution. In the previous video we did sections A and B, and here we're going to do sections C and D. So it's the same problem. Problem 2 says a recent survey found that 65% of people owned a laptop. Using the binomial distribution, what is the probability that in the next 8 people surveyed, and then we have the number of people that we're interested in each section of the problem. So the pi is 65% or 0.65 as a decimal number, and the n is 8, which is the number of people in the survey, the number of observations that we are looking at. In section A, we found the probability that 6 would own a laptop. X is equal to 6 here, and X is the number of events that we're interested in. 6 owning a laptop, and we found the probability to be 0.2587. In section B, we found the probability that all 8 will own a laptop, and that was 0.0319. Now in section C, the question is, what is the probability that at least 6 will own a laptop? So the probability that at least 6 means the probability of 6 plus the probability of 7 plus the probability of 8. And we've already calculated the probability of 6 owning a laptop in section A. We calculated the probability that 8 will own a laptop in section B. So what we need to do here is calculate the probability of 7 owning a laptop, and we'll be able to add the 3 of them together to get the probability that at least 6 will own a laptop. So we follow the same procedure that we did before. What we need is the probability of 7 owning a laptop. The n is still 8, so we have 8 factorial on the top of our fraction here. The x is 7, so we have 7 factorial, and the n minus x factorial is 8 minus 7 factorial. So I would go ahead and calculate this first part of the formula, and on the top you would take the 8 factorial and reduce it to 8 times 7 factorial, and you would leave it at a 7 factorial on the top because you see you have a 7 factorial on the bottom, and those two are going to cancel, and you're only going to have the 8 left on top, and 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 factorial here is just 1. So this first part of the formula becomes just 8. And then the second part of the formula is going to be pi to the exponent x. The pi is the same as before. It's 0.65, and the x is 7. And if we do that calculation, 0.65 to the exponent 7 on the calculator, this will be the number that we get. The third part of the formula is the 1 minus the pi, which is 1 minus 0.65, and the exponent is n minus x, which is 8 minus 7 gives us 1. So we have 0.35 to the exponent 1, which is just 0.35 here. And so now we are all set to multiply these 3 together, and here is the probability that our calculator gives us, and we round that off at the 4th decimal place. So now the probability that at least 6 will own a laptop is the probability that 6 own a laptop. We got that from A. The probability that 7 will own a laptop that's what we just calculated, plus the probability that 8 will own a laptop, and that's from section C, or rather B. We add those together and we get a probability of 0.4279, and that's your answer for this section. Now if we go on to section D here, we are asked to find the mean and the standard deviation. The mean is this simple formula right here, n times pi. And we know the n is 8 and the pi is 0.65, and we multiply, we have 5.2 as the mean of the binomial distribution. The standard deviation is this formula right here, the square root of n times pi times 1 minus pi. So here you see how the calculation is done. We have n is 8, pi is 0.65, and 1 minus pi is 1 minus 0.65, which gives 0.35 here. We multiply these three numbers together, and then we have to take the square root of that product, and this is what the calculator will give you, and you round it off at the 4th decimal place. And so the standard deviation, the sigma, of the binomial distribution is 1.3491.